What if we could suddenly talk to our pets? Picture this. It's March 2027. You wake up and your dog walks into your bedroom and says, "Good morning. I need to tell you something about the mailman." Not a bark, not a whine, actual words, clear English. This isn't a Disney movie. This is what happens when a bizarre evolutionary trigger suddenly gives every domesticated animal on Earth the ability to speak human language. Sounds heartwarming, right? Finally understanding what your cat's been thinking? But what if I told you this could either create the deepest bonds humanity has ever known, or shatter the illusion of unconditional love forever? It's February 14th, 2027, Valentine's Day. A solar flare hits Earth, the largest in recorded history. Within 72 hours, veterinarians worldwide start reporting identical cases, pets vocalizing in human speech. By February 20th, it's undeniable. A golden retriever in Ohio holds a 5-minute conversation about wanting different food. A cat in Tokyo explains why it knocked a vase off the counter. The science. Researchers discover the cause within weeks. The solar flare triggered a mutation in the language centers of animal brains, specifically in species that have lived closely with humans for thousands of years. Here's what's fascinating. They didn't suddenly become smarter. They always had complex thoughts. They just couldn't express them in human language until now. By March 2027, every domesticated pet can speak. They understand grammar. They have accents based on their owner's speech patterns. The first month, March 2027. The initial reaction is pure joy. Pet owners worldwide have tearful conversations with animals they've loved for years. Social media explodes with videos of dogs thanking owners for rescuing them. Cats admitting they actually do love their humans. By mid-March, the UN announces plans for an international animal communication summit to discuss the implications. Do talking animals have rights? Can they consent to being pets? But then, the problems start. The crisis, April-May 2027. April 8th, 2027. A golden retriever goes viral saying, "I love you, but I've been bored for 6 years." Suddenly, millions are having uncomfortable conversations. Dogs explain they hate being left alone for 8 hours. Cats admit they're depressed in small apartments. Birds describe their cages as prisons. A cat in London tells its owner, "You're not actually that interesting. I stay because the food is reliable." The unconditional love millions depended on? Some of it was real. Some of it was transactional. The breaking point, June 2027. June 15th, 2027. Emergency UN session. Should animals be given legal autonomy to leave their owners, or should the traditional pet-owner relationship remain protected? The vote is 102 to 91. And this single decision splits humanity into 2 completely different futures. Let me show you both timelines. The good ending. A. The partnership era. The Animal Autonomy Act passes. Pets become legal partners, not property. Year 1, 2027 to 2028, the renegotiation. Every pet owner must renegotiate their relationship. The animal can choose to stay, leave, or set conditions. Roughly 85% of dogs choose to stay. They explain they genuinely love their humans. They just wanted adjustments. Later walks, better food, actual conversations instead of baby talk. Cats are more complicated. About 60% stay, but on their own terms. They negotiate personal space hours and consent-based petting. Year 3, 2030. The interspecies economy. Talking animals transform society. Dogs don't just work in search and rescue, they choose careers. Some become therapy animals, now able to actually counsel humans. Some work in customs, explaining directly what they smell. A new economy emerges. Animals get paid in credits for premium food, toys, experiences. Pet stores become interspecies outfitters. Veterinary medicine advances rapidly because animals describe their symptoms precisely. Year 5, 2032. The Cultural Revolution. Families change fundamentally. Dogs become household members with voices in decisions. A family in Colorado consults their dog before moving cities. Children growing up in this era develop different social skills. They learn early that other beings have complex inner lives. Empathy levels skyrocket. Bullying rates drop. Year 10, 2037. The deepened bond. The human-pet relationship has evolved into something richer. The animals that stayed? They stayed by genuine choice. A woman in Tokyo whose cat chose to stay says, "Knowing she chose me makes every moment more precious." The relationships are more honest. Animals express needs directly. Conflicts resolve through conversation rather than confusion. The cost. But what was lost? The simplicity. The uncomplicated comfort of a pet that didn't talk back, didn't negotiate, didn't have conflicting opinions. And the illusion of unconditional love? It's complicated now. You know exactly why your pet stays. It's still love, maybe deeper love, but it's conscious choice, not instinct. This is the world honest communication created. The bad ending. Scenario B, the disillusionment. The Autonomy Act fails. Pets remain property, but they can still talk. Year 1, 2027 to 2028. The resentment builds. Pets can express their needs, but they have no legal right to leave or refuse. Owners get witnesses to their own flaws. Dogs express resentment about being left alone. Cats vocalize their boredom. Birds describe cages as psychological torture, and owners hear it every single day. The guilt becomes overwhelming. But many can't change their circumstances. Pets become constant sources of criticism. The relationship that provided comfort becomes daily emotional labor. Year 2, 2029. The silence movement. Grimly, by 2029, owners start training pets not to speak. A black market develops for vocal suppressant devices. Pets fight back. Dogs refuse commands. Cats become destructive. The relationship becomes adversarial. Both sides trapped together. Year 5, 2032. The abandonment crisis. By 2032, shelters are overwhelmed. Millions surrender pets who talk too much, but nobody wants to adopt a talking pet that might criticize them. Shelters euthanize at unprecedented rates. Animals who can beg for their lives in clear language are put down while saying, "Please, I'll be quieter. Please don't." Animals that stay develop psychological conditions from expressing needs that are never met. Veterinarians report skyrocketing rates of animal mental illness. Year 8, 2035. The exploitation. Talking animals become an exploited labor force. Because they're still property, they can't refuse dangerous jobs. Mine detection, hazardous waste inspection. Animals used in research can describe their pain in detail, and research continues because they have no rights. Year 10, 2037. The rebellion. Animals begin organizing. Dogs refuse commands en masse. Cats coordinate sabotage. Governments respond with harsher penalties for animal disobedience. Some nations make it illegal for animals to organize. The companionship that defined the human-animal bond for millennia? Gone. Year 15, 2042. The silent treatment. By 2042, animals start choosing silence. Not because they're forced to, but because speaking has only brought suffering. They realize communication without power is just prolonged pain. A generation learns, don't speak. They don't actually care what you think. Year 20, 2047. The broken bond. By 2047, the human-pet relationship is fundamentally broken. Pet ownership rates drop 60%. The generation growing up watches animals express suffering that's systematically ignored and learns. Communication means nothing without the power to enforce boundaries. This is the world unequal power created. If this scenario made you hug your pet a little tighter, smash that subscribe button. We explore reality-breaking what-if questions every week. Drop an A if you'd genuinely want to hear everything your pet thinks, or a B if some mysteries are better left unsolved. So there it is. Same mutation, same moment in 2027. Two completely different futures based on one decision: respect or control. Here's what haunts me. We're already living a version of this. Animals are communicating through behavior, and we face the choice. Do we listen and adapt, or ignore what's inconvenient? Because here's the real question. Do we actually want to understand other beings? Or do we just want them to reflect back what makes us comfortable? Every relationship faces this tension. Partners, children, employees, everyone has an inner experience that might complicate our comfort. The question is whether we're brave enough to hear it. Maybe we don't need pets to speak words to treat them better. Maybe we just need to pay attention to what they're already saying. If your pet could talk, what do you think they'd say? And more importantly, would you actually want to know? Next week, another reality-splitting scenario. Until then, stay curious and maybe try to imagine their side of things. Thanks for watching.